What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video from TMTV. First and foremost, I just want to thank you for your time, and I really appreciate it. And let's get straight into it.
Awesome.
Can you tell us a little bit about, your journey into the bodybuilding?
Yeah, for sure. So what's up, guys? I want to say thank you to you as well for having me today, asking me a couple questions, and also film me during my workout. So thank you. That's what I say first and foremost. And secondly, with bodybuilding, I wouldn't say it was what got me into bodybuilding. I say what got me into the gym was finding something as an adult when I joined the military that would give me something to do. And that sounds simple, right? Like, oh, you're an adult, you have hobbies, right? You go out with your friends. But I joined at 17 years old. So out of high school, I used to go to lacrosse practice or football practice. And then I graduated high school. At 17 years old, I went to boot camp. I turned 18 during boot camp. Then I got to my first duty station, which was in New Jersey. And I was learning my job with the Air Force. And so during those days, you'd be in class all day and then you'd get out around like 3 or 4 p.m., right? Okay, then what would you do? I sat there in my bed and I was like, it's 4 p.m., I'm done with work, now what? I was doing practice as a kid in high school. Now I'm an adult, what do? I guess I hang out with friends. I want to still be active. So I started going to the gym to stay active in a way. And I just started lifting. And honestly, in the beginning, it wasn't bodybuilding whatsoever. It was more honestly, it was people say curls for girls, getting in shape, getting buff and shredded.
Yeah.
I'd say it was for that, just because, I wanted to build my self-confidence. I never was a huge guy. I was always pretty lean and had good genetics. I'm not going to say I didn't. I've always had great genetics, but I never was huge. And I never really wanted to get huge. And then I was starting to lift and I was like, wow, it's kind of cool. I started getting some little arms. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And one day, a female bodybuilder actually, she's an awesome person, a competitive bodybuilder who's jacked, was like, hey bro, if you keep lifting the way you do, you're gonna look like a steak on chopsticks. And I thought about that for a while. I was like, what does that mean? I was like, oh, and I thought about a piece of steak literally on chopsticks. I'm like, I don't train legs. So then I started training legs, didn't know what the hell I was doing. Started watching videos, just old school videos, new school videos and stuff, and started just kind of training and started kind of doing a bodybuilding split. And people were like, wow, you have the physique for bodybuilding. And I was like, nah, that shit's whack. I don't want to be on a bikini on stage. What kind of man wants to do that? And so then I just started training, deployed a couple times, started working my legs. I promise you I have legs. And I fell in love with the whole regimen. It gave me a regimen afterward, because the Air Force and military gives you a type of standard where it's work this, tidy this, and all that stuff. But after you're done, it keeps you, the bodybuilding or the fitness, life gives you something where it's all right, Monday's this, Tuesday's this, and it keeps you going and it keeps you on track. And I kind of fell in love with it. So, and the biggest thing out of all of that, not just finding something to do, I felt like the gym made my problems in my life that were going on at the time, even to this day, mostly.
Disappear?
Say again?
I said disappear.
Yeah, not permanently disappear, but for at least that moment when I'm in there, not be as bad. And I'm a huge person that talks about mental health, because I'm not ashamed to say I have issues. I have depression, I have anxiety, sometimes really bad. And I think the gym, when I'm in here, I feel safe. No one can hinder me. No one can hinder my set. I'm here. It's me. It's the way. It's my music. I have a couple of close friends that I goof off with sometimes, but it's fun, and nothing can stop me.
Does that increase your, self-esteem?
Say again?
Does that increase your self-esteem or your confidence?
Yeah, of course.
Or does it boost it?
Over time, you see, I'm not going to be one of those people that say, oh, in 6 months or whatever. No, but over time, you start seeing results, whether it's a bicep measurement or your abs or whatever it is that you like, not just bodybuilding, just in fitness. You see results, you start falling in love with your body in a way, and not in a cocky sense or anything. You're like, wow, I'm proud of myself. And over time, you build confidence. And a lot of people, when they ask me, how can you wear this? How can you wear it? Because I built confidence in myself, so I could look at myself and be like, I know who Danny is. I've worked my ass off for this. I'm not afraid to show it. I'm not showing off to be in your face, but if I wear a stringer or something loose or at the beach, I'm not ashamed, because I know behind the muscle I am a good person.
Yeah.
But I've worked my ass off to build this physique, so don't knock that,
So what was growing up like for you in Jersey?
Well, so I was stationed in Jersey. I actually grew up originally in Jamaica, Queens, New York, and then I moved to Connecticut, and then I got stationed in Jersey. But growing up, my parents were divorced at 4. I used to go to Europe every summer to Hungary. I'm 100% Hungarian. I speak fluently. So my summers were mostly spent there, just doing kid stuff, you know, doing sports. And then throughout high school, I was very athletic and active. I will say it's weird because I was never like a jock per se. I never like hung out and partied. I actually never went to one single high school party, believe it or not, because I was too scared, I guess, to like sneak out of my house. And my parents forced me to have good grades to be able to play sports.
Yeah.
So if I had a certain grade on my report card, I couldn't play sports. So I was kind of like, well, I got to be fucking smart so I can go and play. And I was actually pretty good at the sports I did play. I did football, lacrosse, soccer, track. Most importantly, the biggest one was lacrosse. A lot of people are like, oh, you play lacrosse? I actually did. I was supposed to go to college for it if I didn't join the military, and I love lacrosse. It's the best thing. I miss it to this day. I still watch clips. So I had a very active lifestyle. I will say I was always genetically blessed. I'm not one of those people who's like I was fat and then I got, you know, skinny or whatever. I was overweight, or not to offend anyone, but I was never those people that had crazy transformations. But I was always relatively lean. I had like a six-pack, you know. I had a good basis and foundation for bodybuilding, but so, I was always like active, you know.
So let's go to the training. What is your training routine like?
So right now, how I have my training, and it wasn't always this way, but I work on my weaker areas multiple times a week. Essentially, my back, my hamstrings, they suck. I know people are like, oh, you're crazy. No, they do. On a bodybuilding side, when you're looking at bodybuilding side, my back and my hamstrings lack. That's no secret to anyone. And a lot of people knock me for it all the time, but I know that. So that being said, I train them more throughout the week. I usually do single body parts a day. Chest, you know, chest, back, legs, and the legs days are split between hamstrings and quads. But I do single body part a day. I don't do a push-pull. I've had times, and I might try to reincorporate a push-pull method just to see if I like it. But for me, what's worked and how my physique has responded, what I like of my physique, how I train, is that single body part a day. But my most important part of my training that I emphasize on, because people see me doing outrageous weight sometimes in videos and this and that. Yes, I do outrageous weight, but for example, on like an incline dumbbell press, you see me doing 150 pounds. Wow, it's crazy. I'm doing it with control, meaning I'm controlling the eccentric, the negative portion of the repetition, where I'm activating the muscles that are being targeted to put more time under tension for that muscle. I think that is so important that a lot of people don't do because they're just going through motions. They're not actually activating it. I didn't learn that until about like a couple of years ago, where my buddy Anthony, who was coaching me, was at the time was showing me just like heavyweight training, and it took a while because I couldn't use some of that weight. I couldn't lift some of that weight. It was extremely heavy, so I had to lower the weight, slow it down a little bit, and explode. And once I did that, my strength started slowly going up. But I train extremely heavy on my top sets, or I try to. Do I have days where my joints and tendons can't keep up? Yes. However, I will say when I get to that top set, I am like shitting my pants on that 9th rep. And I always have someone giving me help and support on those 8, 9, 10th reps, because I think that when you have that extra bit of support, you're doing forced reps, which it's not fully you. Those are so beneficial to training, in my opinion.
Do you have trainer, or you just?
So right now, everything I'm doing is all by myself. My training split, my diet, and that's a big thing. I know people are like, oh, diet. Full transparency, right now I'm eating everything I want. I'm not counting my macros. I'm not meal prepping. It's different if I was doing a show or if I was doing some type of cut. Yes, 100%. I'm paying more attention to my carb intake in this. But right now, if I wanted Totino's frozen pizza on a Wednesday night, you just better fuck I'm gonna go in my freezer and eat it. You think I want boneless wings on wing night at Buffalo Wild Wings? I'm driving my ass with my friends to get some wings. And that's full of transparency, and I have the ability to do that. I've always been able to on the genetic side. A lot of people like, oh, like it's rice and chicken. Yes, that is 100% a great method. And a lot of my big meals that I do have at home have rice in them. Turkey, meatballs, chicken, stuff like that. However, right now, I'm not counting anything. I don't have a specific thing. Because I'm not trying to get to anywhere. I'm just improving my physique. I'm being happy in life. I'm enjoying life. I'm enjoying food. I'm enjoying the gym, and that's full transparency.
So as your training routine evolved over the years,
Yeah, I think everyone's training routine kind of evolves because they kind of learn their bodies and what they like and what they don't, and what also works and what doesn't. I think everyone, when they walk in the gym, they see something on TikTok and they start doing it. because their favorite influencer or bodybuilder did it, but they're trying to do the same weight, but they're like 100 pounds less. I was like, you can't just go in the gym and see, oh, Danny Soul did this, and go and do the same weight. That's not how it works. So that's why I tell people all the time, like, do a weight that's comfortable for you, that you feel good with, that you can do good, solid repetitions with. When you figure out that sweet spot where you're activating, you're feeling the muscles, that's what you should continue doing with. So at first, yeah, I was doing stuff where I was doing arms like 3 times a week, doing this 4 times, and there was no rhyme or reason why. I just was like, I want to get big arms, so I'm going to train them all the time, right? Guess what? I know, arms are there. They're one of my genetic huge parts of my body, but now, arm days, I don't have an arm day. My arms are thrown into the end of a back day if I do it. I don't train arms, I don't target them specifically. So a lot of people are like, oh, arm day every day. No, bro, like honestly, it's not that way. As much as like I'd love to say, yeah, I train arms 3 times a week, but I found something that has made my physique evolve. But over the years, trials and tribulations of what works and what doesn't, because there's certain times where I've gotten injured. You know, I've torn both my IT bands on my legs from doing extremely heavy leg pressing. And I was like, you know what, I gotta be smarter. Just lower the weight a little bit, slow down the repetition, and you'll get better results. But you learn through that. And sometimes like you can't control a tear, you can't control something, an injury that happens because your tendon gives out. It's not really something that you're doing specifically wrong. So injuries, setbacks like that, those have affected my training. You know, when traveling with the military, that's affected my training, not finding a suitable gym, so gotta make use of what we got. And like stuff along those lines. But I will say that I'm happy with how it's all happened because I've learned so much from my fuck ups, and I think that people should fall and fail at something because then they'll appreciate when they rise and they nourish with something, and not just with bodybuilding, anything. If you mess something up, you're like, fuck, I messed this up, or it's just like a breakup, oh, it's bad. Well, guess what? Let that fuel you to make a better person in your next relationship. Or you messed up a task at your work. You messed that up, all right, don't get sad about it and be a little bitch. Look at the situation and be like, all right, how can I make that better? How can I fix it? A lot of people sit there and they dwell too much and they're not figuring out how to make it better. Same thing with fitness. This isn't working for me. What can I change with my diet, with my training, whatever it is, to make myself get the end result that I want? And a lot of people, they won't go from that point A to point B because they're lazy, they make excuses, or they blame others.
So, you know what they say about doing things right? You have to do it wrong first.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, there's times, how do I say this? I try to go up to people when I see something like, hey man, not to correct people, but there's times you see someone doing an exercise and you know it's improper, or you know it may hurt them. They're doing either extreme weight or shit form. I'm like, and I think to myself, how would I want to be approached back when I was 18 years old, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not approaching a 28-year-old. I'm approaching someone that's younger than me that may be insecure or they may react some type of way. But I'm like, okay. So I go up to sometimes, I'm like, hey man, try this out instead. And I'll be like, just because I used to do it the same way and my shoulders would be killing me, my elbows. If you figure out a way for someone to receive that information in a positive way where it doesn't feel like you're just like, hey, you're doing it wrong, stupid. They feel more encouraged and they're like, oh, learn from it. But that's also one of the problems is how people talk to each other in gyms and how people get discouraged. And that's a huge part of why the gym culture is the way it is. But I always tell people, don't be ashamed to fail at something or do something wrong. And when someone does try to correct you, rather than attacking back and being defensive, listen. Like, is this valuable information? Why are you telling me this? Does what you're saying make actual sense? And then incorporate it. And then try what the person's saying and like, oh, wow, that does feel better. I could actually feel it in my triceps more or whatever it is. So, but the first step is trying. And that's okay if you fail, but at least you get in there.
Get it right.
That first step is getting, it's the same feeling that first time gym goers have when they come into them, they're shaking, they're insecure. And you know what? I love seeing people like that because you could tell when they're in the gym. But when they're doing stuff and they see someone like me, like a bodybuilder that's been doing this for a while, they're like, hey man, and they're trying, they're really trying. Like, hey man, you're killing it, bro. Hey, try this. This is gonna be a crazy set. Your arms are gonna burn. And they do it with you, and they could see that you're encouraging them, and you want them to be there just as much as you are. It gives them that different mindset, like, oh wow, he's pushing me, but also he's helping me. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my take on that.
So how do you feel when you walk around with this body in the street and people staring at you? You know,
it's interesting. It really depends on where you're at. I will say, like, you know, the people that are super nice and kind, I'm super blessed and humbled to have conversations with some people.
Get this. I'm talking about girls. When I meet
girls?
people, yeah.
Oh, girls, dude, honestly, I'll be completely honest with you, right? Now, this is full, hold on. Like, for my opinion, how I work on my physique, for me, it's to love myself and make sure my girlfriend loves what I do, right? That's all I give a shit about. However, in society overall, when you look at bodybuilders and girls that mostly aren't, because there's a girl community in fitness, but in the world, it's not the most popular thing being a female, being into fitness. It's not. So there's normal girls out there that go to bars.
But there's no way you walk into the room full of girls or people, they will
Well, you
look
would
at
think
you.
that. So some of them, yes, some of them like, oh wow, that's crazy, but they don't look at it like, wow, it's attractive. I'll be honest with you, because it's like, it's over the top. It's not normal. It's not normal.
But you still make a statement when you come into the room.
Yeah, of course. There's a statement made. Like, I'm not saying it even a cocky way. If I'm walking in with a t-shirt that shows my arms, or if I'm wearing a revealing shirt, there's a statement that's made, whether it's negative or positive, and I know that walking into a room. And how I handle that determines my character. So I'm not afraid of getting negative or positive, because if the positive person says something to me, I'll say hi, thank you. If a negative person says something fucked up, hi, thank you. I'm not saying it any differently, because I'm not upset of what I'm walking in with.
Right.
I read a room, I see what's around me, cool. Maybe even if the whole room's shitting on me, I'll still be there smiling, because especially if I'm with my girl, I know that that person and me are the only people I'm doing it for. So these other people are irrelevant, you know? I think a lot of people are so fixated on their image based on their acceptance of others, and that's where their depression comes in, because they're comparing. I'm like, bro, if you're working in a gym, you're going to a gym, you're looking at yourself in the mirror curling, and you're like looking at yourself, work on that so you can love yourself, right? So you can one day walk into a room with that confidence and not give a shit about whatever someone says. Because once you establish that, you can wear whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. And not saying be an asshole, but I'm saying the confidence to be able to talk.
So how long does it take you to get to that state?
Dude, honestly, like the confidence aspect, I probably was in like my early 20s, I'd say 23, 24, when I finally got to where I felt like myself. Like I built something that is me, because I was trying to figure out back and forth who I am, with styles, with the friends I was hanging out with, I had a lot of, and being through a lot of dark stuff also, trying to figure out how to build my confidence, because negative things in your life impact that, right?
Of course.
I mean, I'm divorced, I'm 28, I've been through toxic relationships, I've had toxic friends, good friends, and all during that time, it's like roller coaster. Sometimes you're really good and you're confident, sometimes it goes down. But finding a balance within all that is key. But during that whole time, I always had to tell myself, like, Danny, don't be ashamed of you. Whether you're sad or happy, whatever. Like, the people that love you in your life are going to be there and stay there.
Of course.
And the people that aren't really there, they're going to fade away.
Yeah.
And you'll see that. And it hurts when you see those people drift. It's painful, because you think, oh, wow, these people love me. But it's like, oh, shit. Like, in reality, it's who's actually in my corner. And, but again, throughout all that shouldn't make you change. If people leave, that doesn't mean you should change.
Yeah.
However, I will say this, if sometimes people leave or walking out of your life, do a self-reflection. Are you doing anything toxic, negative? Because sometimes there are things that you can change and be better, but you shouldn't change for people. You can only change for the better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like a self-reflection thing. I go to therapy, I get help twice a week, or now once a week, but I always try to find ways where I look at situations differently, to where I can help myself be more confident, but also handle situations with people more, so that I'm just overall better.
Wow. So do you have any specific techniques that you follow when it comes to like your training?
I will say the heavy weights. Again, on top sets when I'm going, I want to be failing. I want to be pushing past failing. I don't want to be just failing, but when I'm on my 8th rep, I want to be shitting my pants with my spotter helping me.
Okay.
A lot of people, you could tell on their final set of an exercise, they're not working hard. They're not pushing themselves. And there's different workouts where you shouldn't be exhausting yourself fully. I get that. However, I've seen people train and it's just like you're just kind of going through the motions, right? You're not really struggling. You're not like gassed after a set. And I'm like, that intensity thing, like there's times where like I'll be doing something and I'll be literally on my last rep and it'll take me 8 seconds to get the fucking bar up. And after I get up, I feel like I'm gonna pass out because my chest is purple, my eyes are bloodshot. But I'm like, I killed that shit. But
does that make a difference though?
Oh, for me, I think it does.
Okay.
For me, I 100% do, because I didn't do that before. And until I got to that, you get to that point where you're no shit, giving everything and nothing's happening. You're like, well, fuck. And then your spotter's there. Come on, Danny, push. And it feels good. You're like, damn, man, I pushed past failure. Because you fail when you're stuck. And then you have a spotter that knows how you train and helps you. You're like, all right, cool. Giving you a little bit. That's that technique that I train with. My training partners know that about me because they train that way with me. I think is so much beneficial. And I love the way I feel when I train that way.
So if you had to describe your style of, working out, are you cut or like bulk?
I will say if I were to describe all year, it's mass aesthetic. Meaning, I want to be huge, right? But I want to be aesthetic at the same time. Okay. I don't want to be, I don't want to sit 300 pounds. It's not a goal of mine. I don't have any aspirations to be on an Olympian bodybuilding stage one day. I don't. I will say that the aesthetic portion is huge for me because I still like to have a balanced physique where someone looks at you like not for their acceptance, but if you're describing me, right, as like just a cartoon character, right? Like, holy fuck, like just the shoulders and the insertions on the muscle, and then the waist, and then the waist, and then the lines. Like it's like the old school aesthetic I love, but I also like today's massive bodybuilder. Some of those guys, just being friends with them in person and online and seeing like mass monsters, Nick Walker in person. People have never seen a bodybuilder like that in person, and then they meet them, they're in shock. And I still am in shock when I see them. And I take that inspiration of mass, like I want to be that mass, and then tie it in with that old school, Frank Zane waist, it's impressive. And you're molding yourself, because you're molding yourself, right? You're creating your version of it. Yeah. That's acceptable to you, right? Or a judge, whatever it is. Because if you're competing, you're obviously making sure that you're doing what the judges ask for per your category. But for me, I want to be massive and still aesthetic to where I could have 21-inch arms and a 29-inch waist. You know what I mean? And that sounds crazy to a lot of people because they're like, oh, off-season bulk, when are you cutting? I'm like, again, I'm eating whatever I want.
Whatever you want, yeah.
But I'm not. But if I do a video, say I want to look really shredded and just look insanely fine, like lines in my legs. Yes, I will lower my carbs. Yes, I will do more cardio, sit in the sauna, and do the things I know I need to drop the weight.
So say when you go for like a video shoot, do they give you like a weight that you have to come with?
No. Video shoots and photo shoots, it's not really anything they ask of me. They're just like, hey, we're gonna do some this. And I, like, for example, when I did stuff with Redcon, when I first signed, I wanted to look as shredded as I can because I wanted to make a statement like, here, I'm here. And I literally lowered my carbs. I was doing stair stepper, incline walking, and sauna just to like get super shredded. And I thought when I got there and what I looked like when I presented was like, I was like 239, but like full and still pretty peeled. Wasn't shredded to where I was like 212, but I was, because that's the weight I would be on stage if I competed. But I was 239 full, but like the lines in my legs, my shoulders still full. And that's the look I like. But now like, 5 pounds heavier, a little bit more, a couple more pizza rolls, that's fine, you know what I mean?
So talking about nutrition, how important is nutrition for you?
Look, and that's it's funny because I talk about eating whatever, right? I'm not one of those people that's gonna tell you that like, I'm counting everything. I'm counting my rice, my grams of rice, and my this. I'm like, but for people that have different genetics, it is crucial. You put someone with different genetics and a different training, all that stuff into play, and you give them the same training split I'm doing, and the same food that I'm eating, they're not going to look the same way. You could give a guy that has kind of, I have to say shittier genetics, but like genetics that are hard to stay lean, and me, the same food and the same training regimen, same everything, anything they do, we're not going to look the same at the end of 6 weeks. So I always tell people, you have to find what works for you. So like when I cut, I know exactly what I need to do to cut.
Okay.
And when I do cut, I have a coach that helps me and looks at me like, hey, all right, we need to dry you out, whatever, But some people, for specific and I say genetics is a huge portion of it. Like I said, I'm blessed with them. Thanks Dad and Mom so much. So I can eat pizza rolls if I want on Wednesdays. Do I tell people to go eat pizza rolls on Wednesdays? No, I don't. But I tell people that I do because so I'm not saying, oh, rice and chicken. Do I like rice and chicken? Yes. At nighttime, what is my meal I have every night for the last 3 weeks? jasmine rice and turkey meatballs. That's what I've been eating. Like, no bullshit. During the week, do I snack? 100% during the day. But I'll bring rice packets with me to work, bagels, this and that. So, but again, that's what I do. And people could say whatever, oh, it's not beneficial. But I'm not trying to tell people to do the same thing. I'm just telling you what I do, and this is how I look.
How many times do you eat in a day?
Pooh, right? I mean, I snack all day. I'd say honestly, fully, like probably four meals, but in between snacking, like I'm not like I'll throw in snacks between there at work, and that's full. Whether it's a honey bun or this or that or some cereal, like that's funny, cereal, you say like Fruit Loops, I have like little boxes, but yeah, man, like I bring, and even still, like again, people like, oh, like that's not this, like I'm not trying to tell people to snack during the day, and like I'm not an expert on nutrition per se, but I know like on a base diet for a majority of people that don't have just the best genetics, the rice and chicken diet, yes, it works.
It works.
It does work. You will be lean and full and shredded if you eat the right amount of rice on a deficit or a calorie, if you're doing a dense calorie intake, because it's clean food. Whether it's a lot of it or a little amount, it's still clean calories, clean carbs, a clean protein intake versus eating Chick-fil-A versus eating Burger King, whatever. Because some people, it sucks to say, but some people could eat Five Guys 4 times a week and look the same as someone that eats rice and chicken 4 times a week because of a genetic difference. You know what I mean? So.
Do you add supplement to your diet?
Say again?
Do you add supplements to your diet?
So when I'm in prep, usually I would add protein shakes into my diet after my training usually, and that's just because I wouldn't be getting enough from my food, so I'll just do an instant shake to get that protein right into my system. Other than that, you know, my health supplements that I take, that's not really the food-oriented side of things. And obviously pre-workout, I mean, that's every day. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a pre-workout junkie. I love pre-workout. I take my Redcon 1 Total War pretty much every day. I like high stim. I like getting that like buzz feeling, especially after a long day. Again, fat burners sometimes if I'm going into a little bit of a cut or something, just to give myself a little bit of like a thermogenic. But other than that, like on the protein side, right? People don't understand the word supplement means replacement.
Okay.
Meaning you're not getting enough of something somewhere, so you're supplementing it into your, whether it's amino acids, protein, you know, whatever it is. So you're not getting enough energy, so you're going to take some caffeine in the pre-workout to get yourself to that point. You're not getting enough protein in your beef or your whatever, so you're putting a protein shake multiple times a day into your workout because you may not be able to eat it. You know what I mean? So, but right now, yeah, no, I'm not adding extra protein. I eat enough shit, so.
So that takes me to the next question. So what does your typical daily diet looks like?
Daily diet?
Yeah. Morning, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Sometimes I'll have, in the morning I'll have an MRE, I'll have a shake, a protein, like it's my Redcon 1, a shake, just like as a meal replacement kind of thing on the drive into work. When I get to work, I usually have bagels. That's what have been my go-tos.
That's my one.
Bagels. I'm not gonna lie, bagels. I love.
You drink coffee?
I don't drink coffee because I drink enough caffeine when I have my energy drinks.
Okay.
I have my rice meal, and I bring my rice with me to work. So my rice and turkey meatball meals I actually bring with me to work from the night before, the leftovers, and then snack throughout the day on whatever it is I have there. Honestly, whether it's protein bars, like I have Redcon 1 bars that I bring with me sometimes into work, or if I have literally chips, whatever. Those like they're really, I'd say, how do you say this? They're not healthy foods that I snack on, and I tell people that I'm like, oh, you eat chips? Like, yes, I eat chips from time to time. Do I have Chips Ahoy? Yes, I have them in my house. But those are like those when I say snacks, like little things thrown in there. But my main meals, like I have, like the carbs will be, and what I also like too is I'll make little wheat tortillas with turkey meatballs, little quesadillas. I try to spice it up, but I'm very basic. It's like turkey meatballs and rice. It's like sounds dumb, but So that's the majority of what I eat, right, like as of right now. And I haven't changed that because I've been really full, and like I just like the way my physique looks from it. I don't know if it's added fats from all the different stuff, or you know, I don't, because like I'm not an expert, but I know that I found something that I look full. I still look pretty shredded on, and I'm not gonna, if I see what I like in the mirror, I'm not gonna change it, you know what I mean? Unless, again, if I could find something beneficial, someone sits me down, hey man, try this, it'll be better, 100%, I'm very open-minded, but I'm not prepping for anything. I'm not trying to take advice from someone that doesn't have any knowledge. And trust me, I know so many coaches that advise rice, chicken, and I know some of my friends that are pro bodybuilders, they're regimented, they eat on the hour, this and that. But for me, I eat to be happy, to make sure I'm full, and my priority is being happy in life. Bodybuilding is huge to me, but we talked even earlier, happiness is my biggest thing. So whatever I need to do to get to that point, I will do.
So talking about challenges, every one of us have challenges in lives. So what are some of the biggest challenges in life?
My biggest challenges would say balancing career and fitness, but that will be a lot easier in the near future. Going through different, like moving to Oklahoma from New Jersey was a big challenge. I wouldn't say a challenge because it's a blessing, but you know, my relationship is a long distance one, and sometimes being away from your loved one is hard, especially doing everything through the phone. But it's the best and healthiest relationship I've ever been in. But it was a challenge at first to be like, hey, I won't see you for 4 weeks. But I'd say it's the best challenge I could ask for.
So your girlfriend stays in Jersey, right?
My girlfriend's in New Jersey. Yes, I see her every 4 weeks. In the near future, again, that won't be a thing anymore because I will be there with her every day. Yeah. So, which I'm super excited for.
So how many competitions have you been to?
Man, 4 total. I will say, like, I am not one of those people like, oh, I've taken the overall. I've never won a show ever. At one of my bigger shows, I didn't even place top 5. I did a show when I was deployed. I don't even count that because it's not like in an organization. And then my first ever show, I did bodybuilding, which classic wasn't even a thing at that time. So right now I'm not nationally qualified. I'm not an IFBB pro. I'm not a top caliber athlete in my opinion because I'm not competitive. Could I be? Yeah, sure. But I'm real with myself, and there's amazing athletes out there that do hold those accolades. But for me, again, it's never been for the competition of bodybuilding, of being on stage. However, if I wanted to, it's always something I could do, you know?
So out of all those competitions, which one is the one that stood out for you, the favorite?
I mean, all of them are difficult in their own ways. Most of it isn't really on stage. It's just like the mental aspect of doing the prep. Yeah. That's what's hard for me, because it's not because I know I'm choosing to do a prep, but for me, with my own issues that I already have, it makes them more difficult. Meaning like anxiety, depression gets a lot worse when you're like, you know, 6 weeks out and you're hungry, you're really hard on yourself. So that's one of the bigger reasons why I don't enjoy the prep. I love the training. I love everything goes. I love looking shredded and looking crazy, especially when I get to that 220 pound range. I look like insane. And I'm not one to say that about myself, but I do look insane.
So how do you manage your nerves and pressure during a competition?
Well, during competitions and stuff like that, you said how do I manage what?
Your nerves and pressure.
Pressure?
Yeah, during competition. Because
I mean, at the end of the day, like everyone handles it different, but like you have to ask yourself, why are you doing this? Do you want to win? All right, I want to be an Olympian athlete. That's what you're doing. So then you have to keep that mind or goal in your mind and just keep pushing towards that. There's so many outside factors that pull you away. In social media especially, you just have to put all that shit out. Because especially on social media, I get hate on all the time. But I use it as a tool to fuel me. Let that negative attention, I use it as fuel when I'm in here training. I also say any publicity is good publicity. And half these people would never in their mind say something to that. So I tell it to people all the time, social media is a huge distraction to a lot of people. And to some people that can't handle it, I'd say just delete it while you're in prep. But again, you have to be mentally strong to get through it. And pressure, like, you know, it's cliche because Sebum, but pressure is a privilege. Like, it's a good feeling to be under pressure. It gives you a lot of emotion, but it makes you drive, it keeps you going. Like for me, I like having situations where I have to figure something out because like I will flourish. And once I flourish, I'm like, fuck, I got through that. Give me something more.
Something else.
You know?
So what's your advice for the beginners in the bodybuilding?
Beginners, I will say, is ask yourself, like, if you're getting into fitness, what are your goals? Do you want to see benefit in your physique? Do you want to get bigger? Not just bodybuilding, what kind of type of fitness that you're in. And secondly, do it because you will find love in it, right? Meaning, like, if you're gonna go to the gym, right? Everyone's doing content. I do content, I film, but I love training. I never fell out of love with training. Nowadays, everything is content, and I understand that. We all need clips of certain stuff to push it out there.
By the way, I love your content.
Thank you.
The video quality.
Thank you.
Audios.
But so, like, that's what I mean. Like, so what you're seeing, what you may see of me posting is maybe 2 clips of my hour workout. And that's all it needs, right? So that takes like 10 minutes to do. The whole other time I'm training intensely. I'm not revolving my workout around a film or content. I don't walk in the gym like, oh, I want to do this. Do I have ideas of funny things? Sure. But I don't walk into a gym saying I'm going to do, I walk in the gym like it's chest day, right? Whatever happens on that day, it's going to happen. If I film, if I not film, it doesn't matter. So go get into the mindset of getting rid of other people's acceptance of you and walking in there to better yourself. And once you start bettering yourself, you'll start to build that confidence where you do want to post some stuff. And you can record, but just don't revolve it around it all day. Show off what you're doing and your hard work. I encourage it because you should be proud of the work you put in. But always know that once you start doing that and once you put yourself out there, the internet is a very, very cruel place.
I know.
Right? So beginners get discouraged because of the shit that they get, or they think they know everything. So don't just be humble. Go in there with an open mindset and know if you're putting something out there, it's out there for the world to see. So you may get people that love it and people that will make you not want to go to sleep.
How often do you respond to the comments?
Oh, there's sometimes I respond frequently, but it's positive way. People will say the longest, really fucked up thing.
Yeah.
And it'll be like Jeff 406 commented, "Have fun having a cardiac arrest and not living, making it till 50." Right?
Yeah.
I'll go to Jeff 506 or whatever his username's page, and it's public. And you'll see him posting with his family and blah, blah. I'm like, hey, Jeff, thanks for stopping by, brother. I hope you have a happy New Year's and keep being a good father to your beautiful family. Have a great day.
Wow.
Right? And in response, people will see that. And it's like, oh, it's passive aggressive. No, sometimes is it a little passive aggressive? Sure, but I'm not feeding in it, and I'm not matching.
Yeah.
I'm not matching your negativity.
Yeah.
I'm telling you to have a great year and keep being awesome. And half the time, like, just kidding, bro, you look great.
Wow.
So always take the negativity. It's hard, but don't bite in because they want you to bite. Just be like, okay, thank you, because then they can never say that you stooped down to their level and you gave them what they wanted.
Do you have any misconception about bodybuilding that you like to address? Like,
Misconceptions?
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing is big guys and bodybuilders and like the top guys or guys with physiques similar to mine are mean or assholes.
Oh.
I will help any person that asks for help any time of the day. Like even after a set, if someone comes up to me, whether they want to meet me for a social media thing, I seen you, or help on a set, I will talk to someone. And some of the nicest guys, have been the biggest dudes, and some of the smallest guys are been the most immature, self-centered people online. And I don't say anything about that or to them. I don't call them out, I don't call them assholes, but I'll let them do their thing till one day they wake up and they realize they're assholes. As for me, I don't care. My exterior shell, people don't like it, right? You could talk shit all day. You could say you don't like my biceps. You could say you don't like my quads. That's fine, right? You could knock all those things, knock me, or try to talk shit on the heart and the intellect, or where my mindset is. And when people, like, you think about that, like, oh, like, what do you mean? Like, knock me for who my character is and where my mindset and my heart stays. I'm not a perfect human being. I've messed up a lot of things, and I've gone to therapy. I've tried to fix myself for things. But however, in the moments where I look at myself overall, I think that I've centered myself to where I am trying to help others all the time, and sometimes even more than myself. But that's where I mean where those exterior hate comments, they just bounce off because it's nothing. But if it's something I made a mistake on, that would affect me because I know I messed up because that's something I personally did, you know?
So how do you keep yourself motivated? Because
I just try to be better every day. It's self-motivation. I just try to be better. I want to have a beautiful family and provide for them. I want my kids to have a better life than I did, like typical story, right? But I do. I want to live in a beautiful home, nothing fancy, but to where we're good financially, and where they can look at dad like, oh wow, dad's a superhero. They're like, I'm proud. I'm proud of him. You know, or they come home and they're so excited to see you. Like, those are goals I have, and I want to create them, so that pushes me to get to that point. I always tell myself I have pinnacles, right? They're small, but they're like this step, and once I reach them, I check them off, next one, Because people go to get to pinnacles and they stop. It's like a mountain and they fall, right? But if you keep making yourself new ones, then you're continuously climbing and you're never complacent. So.
Wow. Your legacy and future. What do you know, what type of legacy do you want to leave?
I just want to be the best dad in the world. That's it. I want a family. I want a beautiful family. I want to be the best dad in the world. I want to be the best friend to someone in the world. I want to be a good human to people that may not necessarily think that I give them the time, but I will. I want to help the world in ways that people wouldn't think I would. And I want to leave a positive impact on people that I interact with every day. That's pretty much it.
Talking about balancing life, how do you balance your life, work?
It's regimen.
Family.
You make it work, bro. Everything has its time. The workout has time, meals have time, this has time, but you make it work. And that's not saying, oh, figure it out. It's saying, if you want something, you want to work out, you don't have time, fucking make time. If you want to have a meal, find a way to eat that meal. You know, stop making excuses for things that don't happen.
And last question, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy?
Yeah.
What makes me happy, honestly, is what makes me like genuinely happy is being around the people I love and seeing them smile and laughing and being in good space and being in a place where everyone I'm around is all resonating in a positive way, you know. Being around my girlfriend, like having the stupid jokes that we do and laughing at the dumbest things, like those moments I'll never forget, the specific stuff I think about all the time. Moments I had with my family, my dad, you know, my uncle, my sister, like those are things that make me happy. It's like little things. A lot of people are like, oh, money, this, that. I'm like, no, fuck that. Like genuine moments and quality of time and things that impact your heart are those are the things that make me happy. When someone says they're proud of you, that makes me happy because I work my fucking ass off every day. And so I never say it online, but I work my ass off for the things I like doing so that the people that I love and are in my life see like he's working. And when they say I'm proud of you, I've done something right. And that makes me feel accomplished and happy and proud. So,
if there's one thing you want me to leave here with after this interview, what would that be?
Well, for you?
For me and the people that are going to watch.
For you and the people that watch this, the biggest thing I will say for you, right, would be, you know, you're doing a video of me right now.
Yeah.
I would advise you to keep pursuing getting better every single day at this. So one day you could have a celebrity sitting here and you ask them the question you just asked me. And you could sit here and remember this conversation like, wow. And you worked so hard those years to get to that point because you love this. It's your passion and you're not ashamed of it. You love it. So keep doing it. That'd be my advice to you. And to everyone else, I don't care if you like fitness. You may be listening to this because of fitness or bodybuilding, but you could love something else. But if it's your passion, continue driving and don't let people sway you from it. Not everyone's gonna love it, or you may not be everyone's cup of tea, but if you love something, do never be discouraged of it. Because if it mentally makes you happy, there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing it. So that's it.
Thank you so much, brother, and I really appreciate your time.
Man, for sure.
God bless you,
sure, man.
and have a blessed week.
Thank you, bro.
Yep.
All right. All right, guys, I'm here with TMTV 2020 here. I just finished up an interview. He did some shots of us today, video us working out today. I had a chest day with my boys. I just want to say thank you. He did like a 25-minute, I don't even know how long that was, long interview just about bodybuilding, lifestyle, and just me in general. So I just want to say thank you to you. And to encourage him to continue doing his videography skills that he's doing. Like I said, check him out. I'll be tagging him on the story. Again, thank you, bro.
Thank you, brother. Stay blessed and have a blessed week.